Well, good morning. I'm about to pack up my tent. I've got my bag almost ready to go, and I think it's about 6:45. A little later than I had hoped to get out, but I had a very quiet night, and I slept for, I think, about 10 hours, which I desperately needed. Unfortunately, I still woke up with a kind of a grumpy mindset, feeling sorry for myself, hating the flies, scared about 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐢𝐻 Pass, which sort of freaked me out last year, and it's still freaking me out this year with snow on top. Feeling lonely because everybody I've met that I really liked has moved on, gone home, that sort of thing, and I just don't have a kind of a group of people that I'm hanging with or meeting here and there, on the west at least. So yeah, feeling a little bit down, but trying to change my mindset and thinking about 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐢𝐻 Pass and thinking, yeah, I'm scared, but at the same time, I can do hard things. That's kind of my mantra lately. So if I can get the 6 or so miles there and the conditions are good, I'm going up and over and then on to Cottonwood. But yeah, there's a part of me that just kind of wants to go home and keeps asking, why am I doing this if I'm not really having fun? And then the other part of me keeps saying, well, you're not having that much fun because you've already done this bit before. It's not as new and exciting as what I enjoy. So that could be part of it. But yeah, I'm on a little bit of a roller coaster of emotions the past couple of days. So hopefully once I get past 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐢𝐻, I'll feel that wonderful sense of accomplishment and be ready to move on past Cottonwood Pass to the rest of the trail, which is going to be all brand new and hopefully fun and exciting. A couple things I did want to mention before I hit the trail. As I was packing up my tent, I remembered that a friend of mine reached out the other day to see how I was liking the Durston XMID Pro 1. He lent me his original XMID when I started the PCT last year, and so it's interesting to compare. But a couple things about this tent. I like it overall, but I do have one very sticky zipper on the vestibule. It makes it very hard to open and close. And I have gotten 2 little tiny, I don't know, maybe ½ inch long cuts in the sill nylon floor, which really surprises me. I had to patch one last night, and I patched the other one, I don't know, a week or so ago. My Nemo had a sill nylon floor. I never once had a problem with it. I use a footprint with this tent. I clear the tent site really well, so I don't know where those cuts are coming from, but it's a little frustrating that they're happening so early into the use or ownership of this tent. So that's a little frustrating. I also don't love the zippers. They come down, like the top one comes down on the mesh down and the other one comes across this way, so they meet right in the corner. I tend to like to have my zippers high and tight so no critters can get in, and it's real easy with the 2 zippers to kind of accidentally leave a little gap there. So that's something that I might change if I was a tent designer, but I'm not. So I will do a full tent review at the end of this thru-hike and let you know all the pros and cons of it, but that's kind of where I am at right now. And I did want to say, even though I'm a little grumpy this morning, I'm glad that I stopped early because it gave me time to kind of rinse out some clothes, to wash off the scrape on my leg really well. I don't want to take a chance on that getting infected. And since I had clean feet, I had the opportunity to go ahead and retape my other foot for the posterior tibial tendonitis, PTTD, that I have been struggling with. All the steep downhills have been kind of aggravating that, and a lot of the rocks and where the trail is kind of rutted out. Just that kind of angular motion on your foot like this tends to aggravate it. So it's been bothering me a bit, and I got some KT tape the other day. So I've been keeping it taped, and it seems to be helping. And yeah, I think I'm ready. I'm all packed up, and I'm going to hit the trail. Bye, campsite. Thanks for a good night. That was a big old tree. Man. Can I just say, these are so yummy. They're small, they're delicious, they're filling. It's about 8:15 and I just passed the south fork of the creek that I camped near yesterday or last night. And I'm gone about 2.5 miles in an hour and 15 minutes, which is a pretty decent pace for me, and definitely way better than yesterday. I know as I get closer to Lake Ann Pass, it's going to slow down because the elevation is going to get pretty intense. But so far, so good, and the hike has been gorgeous. I've only seen one other hiker, and they were in their tent, so I don't even know if they were a through hiker or weekend hiker or what. But I have seen a few cars down in the valleys, people camping for the weekend. Looks like fun, and it's camping out in gorgeous spots. Kind of envious, but at the same time, I'm on a mission. These little squirrels are really cute, but quite elusive, as you can see. Just looking for a good water source to take a break, and man, this water's flowing. I'm gonna go right over there and grab some water, have a snack. Well, I just crossed that little creek, and as I was about to get some water, I saw a CDT hiker come in, and I had a chat with her about Lake Ann. She said it is kind of dicey, but it's just the last little bit of the cornice. So the rock fall that I had trouble with last year is clear, and I guess you climb up and get on the trail for a bit and then have to climb up the last bit of the cornice hand over foot. So she did it coming down, which is even scarier. Good for her. And I'll be doing it going up kind of late morning, so hopefully it won't be too icy and it'll be a little bit slushy so I can get some footholds in there. Well, that's new. Walk across and hope I don't fall off. What? Piece of cake. This has been quite a climb, and I'm finally on the trail up to Lake Ann Pass. There's Lake Ann right there, and I'm heading that way, but I'm hoping I can find a little spot to turn off and take a nice long break before I go all the way up. I found my spot, and look at these views. Unreal. As per everywhere I've been, there are lots of bugs up here. But I'm going to go ahead and take, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, probably eat a light lunch, and then get going on up the pass. I just feel like I need a little bit extra sustenance, a bit of a boost. So I'm going to take advantage of the chance to charge up. I have to say, there's not many times in your life that you get to take a break in a place like this. Beautiful. The pass is up that way. I just saw a hiker a few minutes ago, and I'm not sure if that's the cornice right up there or if it's more off to the side. It's a little tricky. That's behind me. And that's ahead, but I can't really tell yet where I'm going. I guess I won't even be able to see where I'm going until I get across the rock fall there. I got lost last year, so hopefully I won't this year. Well, it's no more clear to me now than it was then, but I think I'm going to skip the snow and just go right across that way. I think that little guy's a pika. Well, I did lose the trail again this year, and after doing a little bit of freestyle bouldering, found it again. And now I'm up at the first section of snow to cross. I know you guys would love to see that on video, but that's kind of terrifying. So I made it through the first stretch. All right, here's snow patch number 2. It's kind of lateral, so hopefully it won't be bad. All right, I made it through patch number 2, but I have to say this is scary and exhausting. And I really wish I wasn't doing it alone, but there's no other hikers around. I met a guy named Daddy Longlegs a little while ago, but he went on ahead, so I'm on my own. All right, I think that's snow patch number 4. And I just spoke with a CDT hiker who crossed that right before me. And he said that on the cornice going up, the steps are really dug in. So I shouldn't have too much trouble, which is encouraging. But I'm still nervous. Just looked up and saw some CDT hikers coming down. Yeah, scary. Shocking how easy it is to see the trail from up here. And how difficult it is to follow it when you're on it. All right, well, this is my Everest at least for today. And I think I should walk up to this now and go down and around it to where the steps start. Okay, there it is. One of the CDT hikers advised me to start kind of to the left there and then step over. He said the steps are really well embedded. And it looks like if I were to fall, I would slide rather than tumble to these rocks right here. So that's slightly reassuring. Guess I better get a selfie with that. I'm gonna climb it. Those first few steps are really melty, so I'm gonna go over there and follow those footsteps and then up. Almost there. I just need to get at that little tiny bit. God, I did it. I cannot believe I did it. Hallelujah! Oh, the top's right there. These are my feet right here. This is my face. Thanks and awe. Oh my God. Wow. A year ago, I said I would never climb this pass again. It was hard and scary without snow. But I did it. Oh my gosh, I did it. It's so hard to believe. Oh, I'm here. I'm alive, thank God. And now, I think that was only my first 6 miles a day. I got a bunch of downhill. I think I deserve to sit for a minute here at this little cairn and savor this. Even though I don't have any champagne to pop, I would absolutely be doing it if I did. This is a long, long downhill, and I think that the path you see is the path I'm taking. There are multiple signs here, and I was a little puzzled until I got close enough to read the fine print. Thank you, whoever did that. I'm not really in favor of defacing signs, but when it helps a whole bunch of people, and it should have been on the sign in the first place, I'm gonna make an exception. Thank you, folks. As you can see, I've got a long, long way to go before I get down below tree line and before I get to water, and I'm thirsty. Seems like it's taken 3 hours to get to this water source. I think it was only 2, but it's only 2.7 miles from the top, if I remember correctly. So, kind of elusive. Okay, I was wrong. It was 3.2 from the top of 𝐒𝐮𝐸 Pass to this water source. And I did stop at a little creek a ways back, 1.5 miles maybe, just to get enough water to get me here. So it's just been a long, hot, tiring afternoon. I'm not sure how many miles I've done, but it feels like 20. I think it's closer to 8 or 9. I'll have to check. And I'm going to go at least another mile to camp. I'd like to go beyond that, but yeah, I'm pretty wiped out. So I may just stop down there, take a break, have an early dinner, and then possibly hike on. We'll see. Well, I found a lovely campsite by a creek just past Illinois Creek, which was really buggy, as is everything this year on the Colorado Trail. But I'm all set up. I got washed up. I had an early dinner. I made myself some mashed potatoes with gravy and little dry ground beef that I had from home that I dehydrated. So that was a yummy meal. And yeah, I'm all set. Been doing some planning, trying to figure out where I'm going to go next. Tomorrow is Cottonwood Pass, but then after Cottonwood Pass, I'm gonna head on towards Monarch Crest gift shop, and I may stop at a hostel called the Butterfly House along the way, and hopefully I can do that in maybe 3 to 4 days. I've got enough food for that, then I can get some extra food when I stop at the hostel, and then I'm gonna see Andy again, which is gonna be nice. But I am most of all proud of myself today for making it over 𝐒𝐮𝐸 Pass, for overcoming all those fears that I had, and yeah, I did it. So makes it a good day, even though I only did 10.7 miles instead of the 14 or so that I had hoped. But tomorrow is an opportunity to do more.